Welcome back, friends. It is the 9th day of Christmas and my true love gave to me some rose lip gloss. That's right. We are going to be making basically like a roll-on lip gloss. I've got these little roller bottles with the stainless steel roll top, and we are going to fill it. This is really easy, by the way, with some dried rose buds, and then we're going to mix together some of that sweet almond oil, as well as some shea butter, a little vitamin E, and a little rose essential oil. Put it all together and have a really pretty roll-on lip gloss as a gift. So as always, the recipe is going to be down in the show notes, as well as all of the ingredients that I'm using today to make the lip gloss will be linked down below for easy searching for you. Now like I said, we're using the sweet almond oil, which if you've been following along in the series, we've been using this quite a bit. And as you can see, at room temp, quite liquid. And we're also using an organic shea butter, which as you can see at room temp is quite solid. So we actually have to melt our shea butter. Now I tell you this because we're making this as a Christmas gift. This is a winter gift. Depending upon where you are in the country or the world, your temperature varies, right? So putting those two items in here, there are chances that if it's a really cold day, the shea butter will solidify a little bit. And so I don't know, depending on where you go, it could become literally, solid where it's not moving around, or maybe it's just cloudy in here because the shea butter is starting to solidify a bit. So I say that because I want to make sure you're aware, right? And you can talk to your recipients of your gifts as well. But as long as maybe it's just kept at room temp or maybe in your pocket, everything will stay really viscous and just beautiful. But because we're in the cooler temps, just be aware that that shea butter could solidify a bit. It doesn't change anything, right? The functionality and the use of the lip gloss is still there. So the first thing we're going to be doing is disassembling our roller tubes, right? So when you buy them, most likely the roller part is still on. And you just kind of pull them off. I do find that by using some sort of rubber gripper, it helps get them off a lot easier and faster. I'm going to be making 9 of these lip glosses. The package I have here has 12. So I'll just have 3 left over for another time. Okay, so we've got all of the roller tops off, and they're all just kind of set aside here along with the caps. This is where we're going to put in our dried rose buds, our rose petals. Now, these rose buds that I'm using, I want to specify, right? They are dried. You don't have to use rose. I think lavender buds could also be really pretty with a lavender essential oil. I was also thinking that maybe like a white chamomile flower, again, a dried white chamomile flower with maybe vanilla essential oil would also be really good. So you can play around with the flowers and the scents, right, the flavors. The key though is to make sure you're using a dried flower. Do not use fresh flowers, fresh rosebuds, etc. The reason is because the fresh flowers have a moisture content, a water content. And when water and oil mix together, not so great things happen, and that is how things go rancid a lot faster. So by using dried flowers, you actually keep a longer shelf life on your lip gloss. Now that I've mentioned that, someone will ask, what's the shelf life? I wouldn't worry about it, right? I mean, I would imagine this lip gloss will get used within 6 months. Anything longer than that, sure, will be fine, but it hasn't been tested for shelf life. So just kind of keep in mind, if you use dried flowers, your shelf life will be extended. All right, so I'm just going to take some of my rosebuds out here onto the counter. And so what I've got are literally these just whole buds, and I'm not sure the whole buds are going to go in. So I may have to just tear some of the petals off. And I can probably get a chopstick here and put some in that way. Now I'm not filling it, right? I'm just putting a little in for some of the color and for it to be really pretty. But that's what I'm going to do first, is fill my tubes, my glass tubes here, with some of these rose petals. So I'm being careful to not put in the green stem. I'm just kind of tearing that off and really just trying to get the pretty petals. Once they're all filled, you really just want to kind of look at them, right? I lined them up on the counter and was checking them out because I want to make sure that they all look like they have similar amounts of rose petals. Obviously, this one over here looks a little bit more, but it's going to look so pretty once the oil's in there. So just check them, make sure they're to your satisfaction. And now we're going to start measuring out our shea butter. So we're going to be using, and this is again to make approximately 9 of these tubes, we're going to be using 6 tablespoons of our almond oil and only 2 tablespoons of our shea butter. And again, we want to have more of the room temp liquid rather than the room temp solid oil. And the shea butter is just so moisturizing, as well as the almond oil. But you might ask, well, why even add the shea butter? And that's just because it is so moisturizing. So not much in there, about 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna go melt this in the microwave for 30 seconds. Okay, our shea butter is melted. It actually took a little bit longer than 30 seconds, about 2 minutes. I am now gonna add in 6 tablespoons of my almond oil. I also have a little vitamin E. Vitamin E is just extremely nourishing for the skin. Your lips are no different. I'm putting in about 4 to 6 drops of vitamin E oil. And now we'll add our rose essential oil. This is the fragrance I'm going with. So I'm just gonna add maybe about a teaspoon. Mix that all up. And your kit, when you buy your roller kit, it comes with this little funnel so that we can go ahead and fill our tubes. So this one looks good. I'm gonna put the roller cap on and lid that one up. Set it aside and come back over here. All are done. It took about 30 minutes or so, but they are so pretty and I am so pleased with how they turned out. Look at that. And so when you tip them over, the rose petals will move a bit. Love it. These are going to be fantastic stocking stuffers. Thanks for joining me today on day 9 of our Christmas gift giving series. I will see you tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.